Welcome back to the Hall of Fame podcast. Today we have a member it's been a long time coming, jumping on because Amber's had an incredible transformation journey and she's joined us today to talk all about it. So welcome to the show.
Hi.
So before we get started, I thought it'd be quite good, just super brief, because we'll go into detail about a little bit more about yourself as the podcast goes, naturally. But give us a little small background about who you are, what you do, a little bit of what you do for your hobbies and stuff. Then we'll kind of delve into your transformation journey a bit more specifically.
So I work in retail, work in Selfridges, just a very normal job. I love going out, going out for food especially, drinks.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I mean, and now my hobby is going to the gym as well, which I never thought I would say.
Yeah, and I suppose that's quite a good question to start from. If you was to rewind to, I think we got started in like December properly, and you
Yeah.
was to say, right, you're going to have this new hobby and you're going to be like going to the gym all the time. That's going to be something you enjoy. What would you have told that person?
What if that was going to be, if I knew that was going to be me?
Yes, if you could almost see the future and that was in the cards for you, what would you have told that person?
Um, well done, and I'm very proud of you.
I love
Because
that. No, yeah, of course.
sometimes I probably doubt myself a lot with things. So to actually be at that point now, I never ever would have thought
Yeah.
that I would have been there. So yeah, just a well done and a thank
Yeah.
you as well to you.
Oh, pleasure. No, that's amazing. I think what we'll do is we'll delve quite heavily into the whole transformation journey as well. But you recently moved from London to Manchester, and you said how much you like eating out, and that's quite a bit of your social life. Is the food and is the restaurants better in London or in Manchester?
Oh, 100% Manchester. So it's made it very, very hard. I've actually got a list on my phone of all places that I want to go to, and even with being like still with you and on like with an online program, I've managed to tick off quite a few.
And what's your favorite one so far?
Definitely, it's called Lucky Mama's. You get
Okay.
like it's a bowl made out of pizza, and then you get pasta inside it. It is literally the best thing I've ever eaten.
Okay, so when you say a bowl made out of pizza, is that like you like it's an actual bowl made out of pizza, like you can eat the bowl, or is it a
Yeah, so
pizza in a bowl?
it's just a pizza base in the shape of a bowl, so the pasta can
Okay,
fit in
yeah.
it, and you obviously you eat it as well. Yeah,
And that's called something, was it something Mummers?
Lucky Mama's.
Lucky Mummers. Whereabouts
Yeah.
is that? Because I haven't heard of that and I'm going to Manchester in a couple of weeks and I want to check it out.
So it's just a bit off of Manchester. I think it's in a place called Chorlton.
Okay. So
But
for those that are listening in Manchester, it's something you recommend.
oh yeah, definitely. And you can't book, you just have to go, and it's always really busy, so there might be a little bit of a wait, but it's worth it.
It's worth it. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Do you know, I had that when it was like a huge wave. It's a little bit different. I went to New York and there's a place called Ellen's Stardust Diner. And I thought, oh, it sounds cool. Saw some good reviews. We'll go check it out. And it was like an hour and a half wait. And I thought,
Oh
there's no
yeah.
way in a million years I'm waiting for it. But then I thought, it's that good. If there's an hour and a half queue, it must be good. You go in there and you think it's the best experience in the world. So I've put your recommendation up here alongside that. So if it falls short, I'm going to be fuming.
Is it the one where they sing while they're eating?
Yeah. That's the one. That's the one. It's
Yeah, I think
brilliant.
I've seen videos of that. Yeah.
It is really good. But what would be really cool to know is if we were to rewind right back towards the beginning, right, where you reached out and you thought, right, it weren't necessarily a case that you had no structure, because I know you was with the coach prior, but I'd love to know what made you reach out and join the program and really go, right, I'm ready to take things a little bit faster now.
So, like you just said, previous to being with you, I was with another coach. So maybe a couple of months before that, it was then when something hit me that I was like, right, I need to do something now. I think I just got back from my holiday, from my birthday, and I wasn't like not confident, but I thought I could just definitely be in better shape. But like I said, I had no idea what to do or where to start. So that's when I found the previous coach that I was with. Um, but I just wasn't, I felt like I could get more from it. Like it was just, the communication wasn't there. I wasn't getting, like I was paying for this and I wasn't getting what I wanted out from it. And I wasn't really
100%.
seeing much results. And then it was then when someone that I knew recommended and said, why don't you go with Reese? I know that he's got amazing results. So then I was like, then that's when I was like, oh, I don't know, because I think you was like a little bit more than her.
Yeah, of course.
But then at the end of the day, like, you get what you pay for.
100%.
So then I was like, I'm just going to do it. I definitely now need to have some sort of idea and knowledge of the gym so I can finally see results.
100%. And you know, it's really interesting you say that. We literally had one of these podcasts yesterday with another member of ours, George, and he said the exact same thing. But
Yeah,
to touch lightly on the conversation we had, it's like if you're in a program that you're not getting results from and you're not getting really what you were there to get, and you do that for X amount of months, that's literally just getting money and setting it alight, right?
yeah,
Like you're not getting nothing out of it, and it's the most frustrating thing in the world, right?
yeah.
So just out of curiosity, like I know you came across to us and started working with us, and I know you touched on obviously it was a little bit more expensive, so I know that at the front end it can be like, you know, taking the jump, right? Do
Yeah.
you think, and again, like be completely honest, do you think it was worth it? Do you think you got what you wanted, or you know,
Oh
like
yeah,
how do you
a
feel?
100%. I definitely thought about it at first, because obviously, you know, whenever anything's expensive, you think twice about it. But
100%, yeah.
then at the end of the day, this, like, when it was like, you know, the payment monthly, I didn't even think about it because of that. What I was getting out of it was so good. It didn't even then
Okay.
become a question, and then I realized that so quickly. So I would definitely say it was 100% worth it. And then yeah, I was paying less with someone else, but that was almost a waste of money, where this was an investment.
Of course. And do you almost feel like off that you have the tools now to kind of keep the result long term?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, now I would definitely say, like, even my friends ask me for advice now. Like the girls at work, they'll be
Amazing.
like, "Oh, is this okay to eat, or how should I do this in the gym?" And I'm like, "Why are you asking me? Because I'm not an expert." And it's like, but actually so the knowledge does, you know, it's obviously sticks with you because I'm now being asked for advice.
Yeah, of course. One thing that I think is really cool is, and I know we actually spoke about like the content you're creating as well, but like just off your own back, you would create fitness content, and you know, you can tell it's just something that became such a passion for you, and something I suppose you probably realize, shit, maybe I'm inspiring a lot more people than I didn't even think. You know, you've got
Yeah.
people coming to you, asking you questions and asking how you do things. So if you was to rewind, could you see yourself being the person who goes, oh, in the gym, you should do this, or with nutrition, you should do this? Like, did you see that in the path?
Yeah, 100%. Again, it's more like a doubt in myself, but I love all of that side of things. Like, obviously, I do makeup as a job, so I love creating that kind of content. So I am now that person in the gym taking videos, but I actually don't care, because it
Yeah, of
also helps
course.
me. It helps me stay motivated, because then when I finish my gym session, I'm like, oh, I can go home and edit a little video, and then I
It
just
adds a bit of
enjoy it.
excitement to your journey, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And when you work so fucking hard for it as well, like you want to try and find little things that you can do within it that you enjoy. So if creating content's fun, it's like, right, it's another reason to go to the gym on top of the
Yeah,
reason I already had, where I'm feeling good, I'm getting results, and you know, I'm ticking the boxes that makes me feel proud, right? So I think that's absolutely amazing. And if we were to rewind, you obviously had your photo shoot journey. How was it?
my what journey? Sorry, mine.
The photo shoot journey.
Oh yeah, that was so good. Even on, like, on the way there, I was so nervous. I think I was on the phone to my mum. I thought, "Mama, I'm not ready for it. I could have done so much better." But I think you said as well, everyone says the same thing, that you
Oh
always feel
yeah.
like you could do better. But then when you're actually there, and you know you've got your tan and your oil, then you actually look at yourself. And not gonna lie, I've not really felt like this a lot, but I did look in the mirror and thought, "Oh, I actually look quite good."
Yeah, of course. You looked amazing. And I think, like, I know we, like you say, we had that conversation before, and it's like, no one will ever do it and think, oh, I've done everything. The first, as humans, the first place we go is, what could I have done more? Or what could I have
Yeah,
done different? But, you know, and we had the same conversation before. It's like, just you wait. You're going to get there. You're going to be in the gym, and you're going to look in the mirror and you go, Jesus. Like, I know you just said like you thought how good you looked when you looked in the mirror, but what was your thought? So let's say, for instance, like when you took a glance in the mirror, you've got a little bit of a pump on, and what was your first thought when you saw yourself? As not for the first time, of course, but like with the tan in the gym, like with your makeup on and stuff, and just feeling good. Like, what was that feeling?
I did. I definitely, for like, this is a lot for me to say because I never ever say it, but I would definitely say I felt like proud of that I
Amazing.
actually stuck at it, and then I've got this now to look forward to for the photos and stuff. And I was definitely excited for to see the photos, definitely, and to almost just like, show them to everyone, because I definitely throughout joining this, I had a lot of people say to me, oh, why are you doing that? Don't go too skinny, don't go too muscly, don't do this. And I'm like, shut up. Because now look at these photos, and now they're actually like, oh my god, you actually look amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing as well, like, there's no right or wrong with the transformation goal, right? Like, whatever you want, you want. And you always gonna have people going, oh, you should do this, you should do that. And you're like, fuck off, I'm
Yeah,
enjoying it. Let me do what I'm doing. And then at the end, they're like, okay, Amber, you was right. You look fucking amazing. Like, shit,
yeah,
I wish I'd done
yeah,
that. Because oftentimes people have that excuse, and I've seen this a lot. People have an excuse for themselves not doing it, like, "Oh, I'm not going to the gym, so I don't want to get too muscular." So then when they see someone else, they're
yeah,
like, "Oh, you're just gonna get too muscular because I don't know why I'm saying it, but I've heard you might do it." And then you get to the end of it and go, "Fuck, okay, shit." So if you
yeah.
do all that gym stuff, you get feminine physique. Fuck, I didn't know that. Maybe I
Well,
should do it now as well.
even before I joined this, I think I said to you on our very first call that I don't want to necessarily be muscly.
Yeah,
But
of
I think
course.
that was almost just a thing in the back of my mind, thinking that I can't get like that, because now I want to be muscly.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. And I
So it's
think
just completely changed. Now I know that I have that potential and the help behind
yes.
me. I now definitely would love to be very muscly.
And do you know what? That was a question that you just answered that I was about to ask. It was going to be, did you not want to gain muscle at the beginning because you was almost like, I don't know if I'm able to? Or did you not want to gain muscle at the beginning because you were like, I don't necessarily want that physique? But then when you said you realized your potential and you realized how much you could actually achieve beyond maybe what you thought before, it's like, nah, I want more muscle here.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely that. I've always in the back of my head looked at obviously other people. Not that you should compare, but it almost just used it as inspiration. But thought, oh my god, no, I can't
Yeah,
get to that. But then as soon as I
100%.
saw like the results after the photo shoot, especially, then I was like, oh, actually, no, I now definitely would like to
100%.
achieve that. Yeah,
Yeah. And a lot of people say it's not a good thing to compare, but I'm not gonna lie, I think it's a great thing. Obviously to a degree, but
yeah,
you look at things as inspiration,
yeah,
like it's the whole reason you like, for instance, the same people that say, oh, you shouldn't compare, they probably have a role model, right? You probably look up to someone that you want to be like, or you want to perform like, or you want to do something similar to. It could be fucking Michelle Obama, random example, right? If you're looking up to Michelle Obama, you're kind of comparing yourself to Michelle Obama, right? So if you've got the same thing with a fitness goal, you see someone online with abs, or, people probably doing it with you, right? You probably have friends and family going, right, I compare myself now to Amber because I want to look like her, right? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's inspiration. You're going, right, I want to use this. I'm
yeah,
going to ask her how the fuck she done it. And then I'm going to do it because it's inspiring me, right? Don't get
yeah,
me wrong. If
definitely.
you're comparing yourself in a negative light, that's a different story. But if you're comparing yourself to be inspired, it's fucking amazing. I do it all the time. There's certain
Yeah.
people, physiques that I would look at and be like, bam, that like I'm comparing myself to this person because they look fucking good. Like I want the same shit. I need to work harder,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I mean. It definitely, like, I'll follow like, these gym influencers now, and you have to, yeah, be careful, like you said, don't look at it in like a where it's putting you down, but just take it in a positive way and think, wow, they look good, they definitely feel good. And then it's like, right,
100%.
get myself to the gym.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's inspiration. And one thing I say as well is like you want to take inspiration from wherever you can. So, like for instance, if you need to set your screensaver on your phone as a fucking quote or as a person that
That's
inspires you,
my phone.
literally, like if it works, it works. If you need
Yeah,
to set Beyonce on your screensaver and that shit gets you up in the morning to get going to the gym, like if it works, it works, right? And I suppose
yeah,
actually that's probably a really good question to, or a good pivot if we will to go on to. Your transformation journey weren't easy, and I know that because I pushed you hard, right? So I want to know, how did you stay motivated? And obviously I know, but for those listening, how did you stay motivated during the times when maybe you go to a social event, you knew you weren't too far away? Because I know you had a lot of social events in and around photo shoot time, so you were still able
yeah.
to enjoy yourself. And how did you stay motivated and disciplined amongst social events in photo shoot prep when things weren't easy? Like, what was your trick? I suppose the people would probably be thinking.
It was definitely hard, but not impossible like I thought it would be, because yeah, I did, especially with moving. I had so much to go on where I was drinking and eating.
Yeah.
Um, but I definitely stayed motivated mainly with knowing that I've got you to check in with at the end of the week
Yeah.
and thinking, right, I don't want to, have a bad week. I just want to keep the momentum up. I think that's the word that you
Absolutely.
use.
Yes, it is the word I use all the time.
And definitely just like having the knowledge of that you can still go to these things. So I think when we first joined, I asked you, like, how do I go about it? Like, I've just been out last minute. I didn't know I was going to be going. And then you obviously told me about like the calorie banking and things like that. So I think knowing that I could still do those things with a tool to help me like still like keep my results definitely helped me keep motivated, rather than just knowing I'm never
Absolutely.
going to be able to go out, I'm never going to be able to eat this or that. So I think
Absolutely.
actually having those things to go to did
That's
actually
amazing.
help me stay on track, rather than just going the complete other way and just like always going to the gym and never going out again.
That's such a good tip for those. Like, that is an amazing tip for those listening. And we say this all the time. If you're too restrictive and you go
Yeah,
completely all or nothing, you will get a couple of weeks in where you go, fuck this. I can't do this shit anymore. I hate it. Reasons in
yeah,
ourselves, run away. Right. And I think obviously it's the same for myself as well. Like, I need to be able to go out to a restaurant and eat food. I need to be able to get a
yeah,
takeaway or whatever it may be, because for me, I know if I do that in moderation, I can stick to the bigger picture for the rest of the time, because I
yeah.
know that I have those moments of downtime or that meal out that I enjoy, right? Like, one of my favorite things to do is go to a restaurant and just eat, right?
Oh yeah, same here. Yeah,
So I think that's really important. And for those listening, one amazing tip that Amber just said there is, don't feel like you've got to be ultra restrictive on your transformation journey, because if you're allowing yourself to have some downtime, have some drinks with some friends, or go out for a meal, all you're going to do is go, okay, cool, I can stick to this long term. I can stay consistent because I enjoy it,
yeah.
right?
It's
I
like
think
when
we,
you see the videos on Instagram. I got myself into a bit of a thing watching them, and now I just skip straight past them. When people do like a video of what they eat, and it's like a salad, a avocado, and then a banana, and then it makes you feel, oh my god, maybe I'm not doing this
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah.
But actually, I would not be able to be in the shape that I am if I was eating that every single day. I would be sad.
Yeah, yeah. So do you think you're in the shape you are because you were still able to eat carbs and go out for drinks and enjoy yourself?
Yeah, 100%. If I was on one of those restrictive diets where I literally had to just eat completely like clean or whole foods and not drink alcohol, I would probably just go the other way and end up then binging really bad.
100%. And it's quite funny. People go, what's the secret to the transformation? Half the time, I'm like, eat more shit. They're like, okay, what is it
Yeah,
actually? I'm like, I'm not joking. Eat more
yeah, I
carbs.
know.
Eat
Like
more shit
even
food.
like some of the girls at work say to me like, they ask me for advice and stuff, and they're like, "Oh no, like I need to like eat this," and I'm like, honestly, just go out and eat something bigger, because one, you're not going to be full, and two, it's literally it doesn't matter that you don't have to eat salads every single day.
100%.
And then they're like, "Oh yeah, because actually they do see me probably eating more out of all of them, like,
Yeah, of
and they're
course.
probably shocked."
Absolutely. And that's the crazy thing. Like, the most common question with women is, how do I get in great shape without giving everything carb, or how do I get in great shape whilst eating carbs and stuff? And a lot of the time they do see these influencers and stuff, and it's like, here's my salad, and it's just a big bowl of iceberg lettuce, and you think, oh fuck's sake. But it's like, eat more food, you'll lose weight faster. And they're like, what? Eat
Yeah,
more? And it's like, yeah, eat more food. You'll find your
I
energy's
know.
gone through the roof, your training's a lot better, your metabolism's supported. I suppose that's the question. Obviously, towards photo shoot time, we obviously dug you in a little bit deeper. But outside of that, when you saw, like, let's say your nutritional targets, was you surprised? Was it what you was expecting? What was your thought when you saw the targets that you had?
At first, I think I was more just like overwhelmed, just because I
Yeah,
didn't
cool.
have a clue how to like use the My Fitness Pal app, or kind of actually work out the numbers and stuff. Obviously now it's second nature. But at first I think, yeah, definitely shocked, because my previous coach, I think I was on the calories were just so different.
Yeah, of
And
course.
that obviously now makes sense as to why I probably wasn't seeing results. And I think more like recently now, after the photo shoot, you've obviously upped my calories, and that's then made me scared.
Yeah, of course.
So then I've probably been worried about that, but now I just know that to trust you.
Yeah.
Because obviously I've seen results so far. So, and I'm not also
Awesome.
complaining that I'm able to eat more now.
Yeah, but you're only human, right? Like naturally, when you've
Yeah,
worked your fucking ass off for a result, like you go, right, I've done this because I was in a deficit. Now I'm going in the opposite direction. It is like logistically, you're thinking, fuck, if I'm going the opposite direction, I'm gonna go in the opposite direction. I'm gonna gain fat, and it is an intimidating place to go, especially for women. It is an intimidating place to go, but you know, like you say, as long as you just trust me, we'll get to the right place that we try to go.
yeah,
But when it comes to like sculpting muscle and building muscle and sculpting physique, the harsh reality is we need to fuel the muscle tissue, right? And I think that's something on the first couple of weeks, inevitably we were nervous about, and especially obviously leading into you just went to Ibiza, which we'll actually touch on in a moment. That you went to Ibiza and enjoyed yourself, right? So you're probably thinking, fuck, am I able to eat more food? But we did, and I suppose that's a good question. How did you feel in Ibiza on holiday months after the photo shoot whilst eating loads more food?
Oh, I definitely felt so much more confident and happy. And then I also felt like I could let go a little bit more and just enjoy
Yeah.
myself and eat more food. Whereas when probably wasn't going to the gym, I was actually probably watching myself more on holiday because it's like, oh, this, that, I don't know how to go around it. But since obviously knowing how to work things with my calories and stuff with you, I was just able to just enjoy myself without even thinking about it, and
100%.
then just making sure I get straight back on track whilst when I'm back off the
Absolutely.
holiday.
And that's the important thing to consider. Like, there's not actually that much. You was away with 2, 3 days, 4 days.
Yeah,
So there's not actually that much damage you can do in that time. Like the amount of calories you have to have. Like let's say we're talking about 1 pound of body fat. You'd have to have 3,500 calories over your maintenance. So let's say you maintain it. Let's say 2,300. Random example, right? 2,200. You would then have to have like 5.8k calories just to gain 1 pound.
yeah.
That's a lot. And I know there's a lot of drinking involved, but fucking hell, that's a lot. That's a hell of
But
a lot of
there was
drink.
also, I probably got a lot more steps
I
in
was about
that
to
I
say, yeah,
usually do at home as well.
100%. Just two
So
separate for
that
fucking
counts.
18
That
hours.
counts for
Yeah,
it.
100%. So, like, again, there's only so much damage you can actually do. And in worst case, if you gained a pound, you come back, you lose it, and you crack on. It's like, okay, that weren't too bad. I went away, I had good
Yeah.
memories, I come back, straight back on the ball again. Was it something that did you like, kind of predict that you'd be as comfortable as you were, just letting your hair down? Or did you think you might be a bit like, oh shit, I'm a bit worried about overeating or over drinking?
I think maybe when I first booked the holiday and I
Mm,
was with you, and I thought, oh, like, that's going to ruin my progress. But then, pretty much as soon as I started with you, it wasn't even a worry in the back of my mind because I just felt so confident that I knew what to do prior and after
yeah, of
to make
course.
sure it doesn't affect my results. Which, like you said, it was only a few days anyway. So, like you said, you can't do much damage in that time.
Absolutely. And I'm curious, like, obviously, I know we got the results we would expect physique wise. Was there any results you experienced that you wasn't expecting?
Um, I mean, definitely the like more understanding of like the whole calorie deficit thing.
Yeah.
Because when I first started with you and you told me you got to do this, add it into the app, I thought, oh my god, this is gonna be effort. Doing this every day, weighing your foods. I thought, I'm not gonna be able to do this because like I'm not the best cook as it is. But now actually more than like the result of me now not even thinking about it, because I think I was actually speaking to someone the other day about it and trying to explain it to them on how
Mm,
to do it, and they went, "Oh my god, no, I can't do that." And I said, honestly, just do it, keep doing it, and it
yeah.
will literally become second nature. So now that's very helpful.
Yeah.
And then just the like how I feel mentally as well. Like it's not just always about how you look,
Yeah, of course.
but like sometimes I feel I really don't want to go to the gym today, but when you go, I just feel so good, and I never ever really had that feeling of going to the gym before. I think because I wasn't really doing the right thing. I was just like going and like guessing of what to do. Or
Yeah, of
now I have
course.
actually an actual structured plan and
Purpose.
workout routine. Now when I do go to the gym, like the feeling after, like you feel so good.
Absolutely. I'll put you on a spot bit. Describe that feeling. I know he says so good, but how does it feel when you
Yeah.
walk out, you've smashed the workout, you felt confident? What is that feeling? Because I know there's probably a lot of people listening going, that feeling sounds great, but like, what actually is it? Like, how does it feel? And I know it's probably hard to put into words, but do your best.
Yeah. So definitely, like, people may not be like as confident in their body. Like they might maybe like self-conscious or anything like that. But I even sometimes think, oh, I don't like the way I look today or whatever. But I'll go to the gym, and even though that one gym session isn't going to change the way you look, it almost makes you think it does. So you
Yeah,
kind
of
of
course.
walk out of the gym feeling, oh no, I feel and look good now because I've done that one gym
Absolutely.
session, and it like keeps you motivated. It almost like the feeling of just happiness and again being proud of yourself for actually going. Um, and I'm trying to think of other words to describe it, but I feel like you just need to experience it to know it.
100. Do you know what's funny? Like, I always put everyone on a spot, and I ask a similar question. It's almost like you can't really explain it unless you've done it and you're kind of there. Because it is, that's why I
Yeah,
said put it in as many words as you can, because it is so hard to explain. But one way that I kind of put it as well is like when you walk out and you just feel like you could run through a brick wall. And it's like, imagine
yeah,
there's just a wall in front of you. You just go, right, bosh, right, head first, get straight through the fucker. Like, sometimes it's how it feels. Like, you just feel like you can take on the world. You feel invincible. And I feel like everyone needs to experience that feeling in their life of just going, I can do anything in the world I put my mind to. Because I truly think, and this would be a great question for you as well. I personally think that the body is the vehicle that can help you achieve anything else in any other area of your life, be that in relationships or within career or within anything. Do you feel like your physical and mental transformation has helped you in other areas of your life as well?
oh yeah, 100%. Because I feel like I've I mean, when you get to know me, I'm not a shy person, but initially I can be quite shy. But I feel like the helping of me feeling good in my
Of
body
course.
and mentally has helped me just be a little bit more confident. Um,
Absolutely.
just because obviously the way you feel, it
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
it radiates off you. Like everyone can tell. Like if you feel rubbish and you feel self-conscious, like you almost can tell, and
100%.
it just makes everyone around you and everyone else feel good because you just feel confident. And
Yeah,
also like you
absolutely.
never you never regret going to the gym. Like the
Absolutely.
hardest part is actually going, but you never regret when
100%.
you're actually there. And yeah, the feeling that after is just the best.
I done a tweet about it the other day. I've never ever met anyone who's walked out the gym and gone, oh, I'm so gutted I went to the gym today. It's like,
Yeah,
maybe I'm happy I've left, but shit, I feel good now I've done it. It's like a bad
yeah,
day in the gym beats a good day on the couch, right? For the most part, anyway. It always does because how it makes you feel. And you touched on some really powerful points there as well. And I think it's so right in regards to confidence. Like, you don't even realize, and it was the same for me. I was an absolute chameleon growing up. Like, wherever I was, I just kind of try and blend into the background. I didn't really want
yeah,
to talk to people. I was a very introverted kid, but going to the gym, working on my own confidence is like, okay, I can be in social situations, or I can express myself a little bit differently, or I can jump on the camera and talk some shit for a little while because I kind of got to do it. But I can do that now. Like, if you used to tell me to do that a couple of years ago, I would have said, no fucking way. You joking? Like, I had
I know.
Instagram.
Now you're on
There's
a
no post on it.
podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's mental. That's a question. If you was to say, for instance, like, let's say you was a fly on the wall in December and you somehow had access to this podcast we're filming now back in December, and you was listening to yourself talk about your transformation journey. Now we're in August. What would you think, or what would you feel listening to this exact podcast, but back when you started in December?
I mean, I definitely wouldn't think that I got here the way I did, like still enjoying myself. I would have thought, what like witchery have I done to to get to get there? And I would have thought, oh my god, it would have been, whatever I've done must have been really, really hard.
Mm,
Um, which obviously, it's been hard, like to stay motivated and stuff. But overall, it's been just like an enjoyable hard.
yeah, 100%.
Um, What else would I feel? Again, just to fit, like I keep saying, feel proud, but I feel like it's important to be like proud of yourself.
Too right. Yeah, absolutely. And even like, a lot of members say this as well, even just getting on a podcast, like it's an intimidating thing to do sometimes, right? And I'm
Oh
sure you
yeah, I
probably.
mean, yeah, and that as
Go
well. Like I'm not the best with. I mean, like I said, when I know you, I can speak for days. But when I don't know someone, I'm like, oh, I don't know what to say. I feel a bit
Yeah, of
awkward.
course.
But obviously now I feel so confident and actual, like I have knowledge about what I've, the progress and how I've done it. I feel like it just rolls off the tongue now anyway.
And we actually spoke about this before we hit record as well. It was kind of like, because when you jump on the first time onto a podcast, you're almost like, well, how the fuck does this shit work? Like, what do I say? And it was just like, we're just gonna we'll just shoot the shit. Like, there's no agenda. I don't have a
Yeah.
plan. I don't like it when they're planned because it almost feels like an interrogation. It's like question answer, question answer. And you're like, fucking hell, this is intense. But like
Yeah.
when you're just kind of shooting the shit, it's like, don't worry about it. Like you'll surprise yourself and you just end up rolling off the tongue. You talk about your journey and you'll completely forget you're even doing a podcast until the end. You think, oh shit, I just done a podcast, right? So
Yeah.
I think, like you say, that confidence to even do something like this is something you should be really proud of because it is a nerve-wracking thing to do. Doing a photo shoot, massively nerve-wracking thing to do. Creating fitness content. I'm sure that now it's comfortable, but the first one probably massively nerve-wracking. They always are. Then you
Yeah.
do it. Then you do it again. Then you get comfortable. Then you get good, and now you're thinking, "Fucking, hell, I can run with this thing." So, what's the future plans for you in fitness? I know you touched on building a bit more muscle, but for me, it kind of seems like this is obviously a huge passion for us. So, what's kind of like, where do you see yourself in within body and mind and so forth over the next couple of years?
So I'd definitely say my one of my goals is to keep up with. Well, I'm slowly getting there, getting confident, taking videos in the gym. But I would like to get more onto that and be
Yeah,
posting them more regularly. Because I do get people like asking me how to do things and stuff, and it's just like, oh, I try and video, but then when someone's looking at me, I then stop. So
yeah,
that's
cool.
definitely one of my main goals is to get better with my content in the gym because I enjoy doing it.
Absolutely.
Um, and then another one is just to just keep going, like because there has been times when I thought, oh, like you want to give up, and then you're like, no, but that's just normal for anyone with
100%.
anything. Um, so just to keep at it, and then definitely again almost see another transformation in the future from now to however I'll look in months and
I
months
love that.
time.
Yeah, absolutely. Does it feel quite cool to have other people ask you questions about gym? Like, oh, how'd you do this? Or what should I do with my training or my nutrition?
Yeah, it definitely makes me feel like what I've been doing has been worth it.
Mm,
And I almost like not that I'm any expert or anything like that, and I'm just almost using your knowledge and like passing it on to other people. But it makes yeah, it makes me feel like, oh, like maybe I do know what I'm talking about.
absolutely. And you do. Like, the thing is as well, like when you go through like it's so hard to go through a transformation journey over what, 8 months and not learn loads. Like, and I say to most people, if you go through the program, you have more knowledge than 90% of other coaches and trainers because they usually do shit wrong. So where you've gone through a transformation photo shoot journey, you've had a reverse diet journey, you've had a dieting journey. I don't think you quite understand actually how high your knowledge is and how much you
Yeah,
know just through experience. And not only that, I can imagine, like, how the algorithm works, right? You watch one piece of fitness content, you get smashed in the face from every fucking angle of fitness content. So you've probably taken in so much educational content just through scrolling social media on a
yeah,
casual basis while you're just sitting down on your lunch break, right? So you've probably intaken so much knowledge and you do know exactly what you're talking about. Like you could probably, yeah, I could probably ask you a bunch of questions, but oh, you just do this, or yeah, you just do that, and you probably just roll off the
yeah.
tongue for you, right?
Yeah,
Amazing.
definitely. And it's like, yeah, like I said, people like ask me, like my friends and family now and stuff, and it's like, it's fun. Like there's a fun side of it as well. It's not just all like boring knowledge and you got to do this and
100%.
that. It's actually fun to kind of show someone and help
Yeah.
someone else as well, which I'm guessing because you help so many other people.
There's no better feeling in the world as well, right? Like it feels so good when you've helped yourself, but then when you kind of go, when someone goes, oh, Amber, that tip you gave me the other day, or even like you probably don't realize it, but there'll be people that's
Yeah.
watching this podcast right now that's taking advice from you. And you've given some killer points in this podcast, by the way. Like, for instance, how to stay consistent and adherent to a transformation journey long term with enjoying different foods, about how you utilize carbs when you train. Like, there's so many things that you've given away that they'll go and try. And you may never know that they've tried it because they've just listened to a podcast or just watched a bit of your content, or you've just kind of popped up when they're scrolling their reels and they've given what you said a go. And you won't even
Yeah.
realize it, but there's so many people that probably have kickstarted their transformation journey because of you, because they saw what you've done. And that's something you should probably be really proud of, because there's no better feeling than helping someone else in their journey as well. So from my end, really good work on that as well. Now,
Thank you.
coming towards the back end of the podcast, what I'd love to know is if you could almost give yourself some advice 8 months ago, or if there's somebody that's slightly on the fence about joining the transformation program, what would your advice be to them who are a little bit nervous in starting or just a little bit on the fence?
So I would say, firstly, if you're nervous and you're on the fence, just definitely reach out to you, which is what I did, because then that will then, help with your decision. There's no one better to speak to than the person that you're going to be joining with.
Of course.
Because obviously you're there to just speak to, like, on Instagram and stuff, just for any advice, even if you're not with, someone's not on your program. So I would definitely say, yeah, just reach out to you, or reach out to anyone that you see on, like, Reese's page, and ask them, like, almost how they find it, because I think that will definitely help you. Because I think I definitely had a few questions that I would have liked to, if I'd have known someone doing the program, I think that would have definitely helped.
Of course.
So ask, because I feel like you might feel more comfortable asking somebody else rather than you directly.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And I would definitely say just go for it. If you've always been that person where you've thought about it, just literally do it. There's no other words than just do it, because you won't regret it. And at the end of the day, it's not just about your physical, it's like about how you feel mentally too. So you'll feel so much better for yourself just for doing it. And at the end of the day, it's not one of these restrictive diets where you can't do anything or eat anything. Like, I still at a point was going out every weekend getting drunk, and still managed to just like keep my results. So I'll definitely say ask people for advice and just go for it.
I love that. And, that's crazy you say that, because, like I said, we literally had a podcast with George yesterday, and he was like, just ask somebody on the program or that you've seen online as a part of the program, as opposed to going to Reese directly. And he said exactly the same thing. And to be fair, I actually never really probably thought about that. And it's crazy, twice in 12 hours or so, actually literally around 12 hours ago, it was last night. And it's so true, because sometimes you think, right, if you do ask me, maybe he's going to have some bias towards his own program. He's going to tell me it's the best thing since sliced bread, and it could be shit, right? So going to people like yourself, and I'm sure, for those listening, Amber would be more than happy to maybe share her experience, like,
definitely,
because I know people listen to the podcast and know that you're being completely honest with what you're saying, but they might also think, oh, okay, yeah, but Reese is still kind of there. So, like, I'm sure Amber's comfortable if anyone does want to reach out to you. And I think as well, because you post a lot of fitness content, it'd be great for, I suppose, them to just kind of look at your journey and look at what you're getting up to. So where can people find you?
It makes me, like, happy when someone messages me, because I'm like, oh my God, actually my posts and my videos are actually, like,
Absolutely.
like happening, I'm doing it for a reason. Like, I'm not just, no one cares.
That's amazing. So for those listening, where can I find those videos? Because they're probably thinking, I would love to just get inspired here. So where can I find them?
So I post mainly everything on my Instagram, on there, on, like, my reels. I do have some that are, like, hidden from my grid, but again, that's like, I need to just be confident and post them on my grid. So I'll get better at that. But yeah, mainly on my Instagram.
And for those listening, what is your Instagram?
So it's Amber Hardman, and then with an X at the end.
So for those listening and you want to see a little bit of Amber's fitness content, and you just kind of want to be inspired, because like we spoke about maybe 20 or so minutes ago, looking at other people in the gym and training is just pure inspiration. So Amber posted some amazing fitness content, so definitely go and check her out, because I'm sure you will be inspired. And thank you so much for your time, Amber.
Thank you.
We'll see everyone in the next episode.